NSFW, what did you find out about your friend's sex life that actually shocked you? My best friend uses blowjobs as bribery to an insane degree. I mean, I'm not above a little BJ bribery myself. But she uses it on her husband like several times a day. Wants coffee, but doesn't want to make it. BJ doesn't want to clean the dishes. BJ, it's her turn to walk the dogs. BJ, it's kind of hilarious. She's super lazy, but prefers giving him head to doing most chores, and apparently it works for him too. She also doesn't want sex as often as he does. So she finds this keeps him happy and she doesn't feel the need to put out as much. All of which I find hilarious. Does she know how much easier it is to just make coffee instead of giving a blowjob? On the bright side, she must have that shit down to a quick science by now. Honestly, it sounds like she just likes giving head. Making coffee is for sure much easier. In spite of his wife being comfortable with having an open relationship, he proceeded to cheat on her multiple times before we all found out. Edit. Should clarify he refused to have an open relationship. People who cheat on their SOs are often very jealous and paranoid of their SO cheating on them. Monsieur. It's pretty hypocritical obviously, but some people are just shitty. He was into swords and getting cut and stuff. It all started on the day of his circumcision. A woman I dated previously moved back home upon finishing grad school. She lives on some sort of free love commune estate. She has 10 husbands. Man, I don't have the time for 10 friends, let alone 10 husbands. I used to frequent Craigslist back before they banned anything even resembling a dating or hookup ad. I once placed an ad and got a response from a guy on my team at work asking if I wanted to fuck his wife. As in bluntly asking, "Hey buddy, do you want to fuck my wife?" Your email address is stripped off when using their built-in email system, but the name on your email account comes through. The response was in this guy's name and he included a picture of his wife who I have met. The pic didn't show her face, but she has some visible tattoos, so there is zero doubt it was her. So how was she? I never responded to the email or ever mentioned it to anyone, though I did think it would have been funny. You actually get a surprising number of cuckold responses to ads, and the guy usually wants to watch. In high school, a classmate of mine was bragging one day about losing his virginity to a lady in our community who happened to be the mother to a girl a grade above us. We all called bullshit and asked why he'd make something like that up, cause not only is it not believable, it just wasn't even a funny lie. Fast forward 6 months and fellow classmate has to leave class on multiple occasions to go to court. Older lady was bragging to a co-worker about sleeping with said classmate, and now our older lady is a sex offender. I fucked your mom might be funny, but I fucked your kid is just downright illegal in it. Can you imagine if I fucked your kid jokes were as common as I fucked your mom jokes? That'd be wild. That a friend has been married for 15 years and they've never actually had sex. Not one time. They've tried but not been successful. From the info I've gotten, I think he's not hard enough. He won't see a doctor. They're both virgins. It's all so sad. Does he eat a raw potato when he's in the mood, perchance? One friend was all into gangbangs and orgies. Never took her as the type. Where the hell are all these gangbangs and orgies happening? Is there a subreddit IDK about swingers clubs and party? My sister-in-law told me what she apparently calls my brother in their private time. Big Daddy Ruru. Is your brother Scooby-Doo? Ruru. My girlfriend in HS was friends with this girl who was super quiet and pretty nerdy. Totally innocent in every sense of the word. When she was like 12 or so, her mom got remarried to this dude who had a son around her age. Well, at around 16 or so, my HS girlfriend finally got stoned drunk with me one night and told me that this girl didn't want to lose her virginity. so her and her step-brother had been doing anal regularly for months. All I remember was being like, the fuck, and then going home and masturbating furiously to the idea of it. You did the right thing. Well, I just found out my girlfriend's a lesbian, so that's kinda fucking with me. Now you just need to go get a pet monkey, Mr. Geller, *, Dr. Geller. A couple that I was friends with was into necrophilia play. He would make his wife take an ice-cold shower, quickly dry off, and then she'd just lay there while he fucked her cold, unmoving body. And they really liked it. With these kind of stories, I always wonder how into it the partner really is. Or if they just decided they love the other person enough to go eat it and are now pretending to enjoy the same thing. I mean, it can't have come up during dating, can it? NGT, I want to fuck a dead body. NGT, check please. My SO's boss's husband would call up various guys to fuck his wife at her work while she left the phone on speaker so he could hear. That's all he wanted, was to hear her moans, I guess. It was interesting realizing this otherwise seemingly normal husband and wife with children had this phone cuckold fetish. Where did she work that she could have sex? That his GF doesn't enjoy having sex with him unless she is really drunk. Never brought it up, but the implication is a bit rough. Edit. I don't mean this in any kind of rape way, it's all consensual and they're a happy couple. I knew this guy, lived with a friend of mine. Then one day I saw him on the local news's version of To Catch a Predator. I think he got some time and might have been deported after that. That was quite a surprise. My friend only do anal because she's saving her virginity for her husband. She has about approximately 5 BF up to this point. People who have been fucked in the ass are not virgins. Change my mind. Stipulating for a moment that a girl who only does anal is still a virgin. Does a guy who does a girl in the butt lose his virginity? Is it possible for only one of them to lose it? Friend wouldn't let me use his computer approximately 20 years ago. He said he had things on there that would change how I thought about him, monsieur. I stowed the thought aside. 12 years or so later, married with a young daughter, they threw his ass in prison for having some insanely large amount of child porn on his computer. He was part of some huge child porn ring, evidently really younger shit. Usually when people say that it's just furry hot pocket porn and whatnot. What the fuck is a hot pocket in the context of porn? My best friend never masturbated. I told him the experiences of the luxury. Then he actually did it and he questioned his life. I mean, that's pretty mind-blowing if you've never done it. This comment reminds me of that scene in The Dictator where my sister's involvement. Wait until you find about your mom's. Hi-fi. A former friend of mine used to wipe her husband's butt after he'd been to the bathroom, monsieur. Initially she'd do his washing and he'd leave stains on his underwear, and that progressed to some humiliation and her checking him when he got home from work every day. She told me this when we were outside having a cigarette and I then had to sit across from them, both for the longest game of Monopoly. He slept with a clown. Clown face. You want to see a magic trick? I can make this penis disappear. How can you tell you're having sex with a clown? When the condom falls off, you pull it out and there's 30 more used condoms attached to it. My friend was US Army, Special Forces, Green Beret, and would go on regular, shadow fucking dates. He would find people online, mostly on Craigslist, and set up random anonymous sex liaisons with people he had never met, spoken with, or had even seen. He would show up to an unlocked apartment or house, fuck in the dark without ever seeing or speaking, and bail. One day we were playing Xbox, he got an email, said, "Don't unpause it, I gotta go fuck real quick." Quote, he left, did the deed, and brought a 6-pack back haul within an hour, Saturday down, and kept playing. This happened a few different times and I think about it often. Sounds like an amazing way to collect a bunch of STDs. He posts himself and his girlfriend to Pornhub and Reddit NSFW. Are they pop? Like, if someone said the channel, would people be like, oh damn? Wouldn't you like to know whether boy? A friend of mine thinks of me while having sex so they can keep going for much longer. How does that make you feel? Weird, flattered, indifferent? Mostly, I mean, we're both straight men. Go figure. That they eat ass despite being a germaphobe. Ding. I have a galpal who is mega OCD, hyper clean and otherworldly germaphobic, and she is way into some balloon not bingo. In the battle of kink v. Bacteria, kink is the victor. Always. WTF is balloon not bingo. One of my former best friends and his fiancée had been together for nearly 5 years and due to be married in a few months when this happened. They were very open about their sex life, saying it was awesome and that they had their fun nearly every night. A few months before the wedding, she confided in me that they had actually never had sex before, because he was scared. Apparently he had her act like they were having daily sex to make it seem like everything was normal. First couple years they tried and didn't get anywhere with sex. After that he just lost interest in her. Apparently the mental abuse in the relationship was pretty high too, which she completely hid from everyone to save his ass. This story is why this best friend is now a former best friend.